So the last topic, it's my personal interest too, about education. Like I want your take on private education sector situation or status in Cambodia. What do you see now, the state of private education sector in Cambodia?
I think private education in private sector are very lucky and are very fortunate that we have the Ministry of Education, we have the Prime Minister who are keen in looking after, making sure that we have enough school for our children, and regardless of private or public, our government makes sure that there's enough school for our students, our youth to go to. So he's very supportive. He's fully, our government are fully supportive of the private sector. It's part of the, partnership to help, supplement each other, to help support each other. Because without private sector, there's not enough school, especially in the city. And without the private sector, we're doomed to die. And every country, public sectors, without public sector, we're doomed to die. And every country, public is always the number one. Private will just die down eventually because public have to play a major role in order for the government to be strong and for education to be strong. But right now, we having a private institution playing a major role because we are still in the developing stage. Eventually, some of those schools will start to die down just like any other industry. First, there's a big boom, and then those who are strong will survive and will stay on and last many long legacy. But those who are weak will die down because you cannot have so many schools around like mushrooming and expect it to continue to grow like that. School need a lot of investment, need a lot of knowledge because you're involving their life, their growth, their childhood, their adolescence, and you need the whole services, the whole teacher with different field, different expertise, a good environment, different sport, and different services that to help enrich their growth. And in Cambodia, some institutions, they just spend about a few $1,000s, a few $100,000, and to make a school a very shaky ground. Every school that we lease, we spend almost $1 million to redo the foundation because students have different, we call vibration. So we have to be very careful. You cannot just get an apartment and become a school. You have to redo the foundation. So, and you need to have different services that are available for students to learn. And you have to have enough human resources to look after them. Not just physical, mental, but also educational wise. Because if you don't have all those, students will not learn. And once they pass through a certain age, you cannot reteach them. And this is very important. Not like any other business you can redo, you can re-educate. But children, once they learn, once they go through, if you miss that opportunity, you miss it. That's why they always ask parents to study and choose the right school, not the right price. It's the right school. Very expensive school, it's damaging because it's not the right environment. Very cheap school is damaging because it's not the right environment. Because you want some school that have discipline, proper service, good quality, and make sure your children are safe and sound and learn what they're supposed to be learned. And not just only learn, but also have the physical activity like physical exercise, PE. We have swimming, we have basketball, we have running, we have marathon, we have different clubs that they can help the community, enrich the society, and also enrich their experience. We have different field trip, study tour that show them throughout the country, even going through outside the country to learn and to understand and to experience and experiment different things in life. And that takes a tons of work. Just one children, it takes villages. So a group of children take a community to educate them. But if you're not an educationist and you do education, you do more harm to the community. So I hope that parents understand that who are the school owners, not just because you have big school, you have big structure, you have to look at who's behind the school. People who understand education, people who understand psychology, people who understand the mental, physical aspect of children, people who understand the development process of children, people who understand the curriculum required for children. If you don't, you have to question yourself and ask for reference. You can ask to the Ministry of Education. You can ask people who gone through certain school already. Because without reference, you are hurting your children. Right now, I feel so sad that our students in Cambodia, especially the rich and the famous, they educate their children in a Western culture, environment, and social. But they are raising their kid in the family traditional. So in a way, you can say that they want Khmer culture, but they expose them in a Western environment. So it's conflicting. When the kids grow older and older, they understand that they are making a mistake. And they understand that they do not have that much amount of money also to spend on their extravaganza. But educational private sector, I think that it's all we need to be part of the government. It takes maybe 20, 30 more years for private sector to play a major role. And governments continue to support because it is a vital sector that are relevant for the growth of this country. We need human resource. We cannot continue to import human capital into the country. We have to produce our human resources to support the economic growth. It's an infrastructure of its own. For a country to develop, you need to have a solid human resource. And right now, if you don't have a strong school, you don't have a strong university, you don't have a quality one, and a qualified institution, then you don't have a solid, strong human capital. And then you will not have a strong economy because that depends on the human resource.
So actually we talk a lot about what you have achieved, MJQ
Education.
has achieved. But now want to hear the things that you wish, the things that you think could have helped you done things better. I mean, what are the challenges, and if those challenges are addressed, you could have done much better?
Well, I would say that right now, I wouldn't have any regret, and I think that everything goes well, and the government has been fully support. But if in the future, when the government has more money, when we are better developed, maybe the government would give better subsidy and support, and also grant to expand more school and treat public school or private school the same as public equally, because after all, we are playing the same role educating our children. I'm not saying that the Ministry of Education do not treat public school or private school equal as to public school. I'm not saying that, but I'm just asking that private school is also a school. Private school is also schools that educate our children. And sometimes in some city, even more than half the population. So it is very vital, very relevant that Ministry of Education put the same effort, the same focus, and share the same information to all schools, and ask every school principal or director to participate in all events that the public school join. And if that requires fee, let it be, because we want to be well informed. We want to know. We want to put forth what are the rules and regulations, what are the requirements, what are the demands, and what are the needs from the parents, from the publics, because the ministry have the information, the ministry that put the requirement, the ministry that have the meeting. We want to take part of it. We want to be part of the community, to help the community. We private, we don't get anything from the government except tax allowance. That is more than enough for us. As a country going through the process of developing, that is more than enough. But it would be much better if there are more support, physical, emotional support, in terms of sharing information, in terms of sharing knowledge and technology, and also share information about the meeting, about the change, about exam, about this and that, so that we private can also pre-schedule, can have dates set up, and can plan the whole year just like what the public are doing. We don't have to run the next day and change everything when the announcement suddenly pop up that the private sector have been well informed, but the private sector are lagging behind. That was almost 100% separation before, but recently I think it's a little bit more open. So if we feel a big relief, we can breathe through the air and there's room to maneuver around. But before it was totally locked up, and we appreciate that openness.
It's like lack of information from the public.
It's not lack of information, it's just no sharing, no participation, no involvement. But I would say that now there's some understanding, there's some change, and there's some exchange of information. But it takes us almost 20 years to go through it, but we have lost so much opportunity. Within these 20 years, we could have grown faster. We could have improved better. We could have made more growth in human capital, in knowledge, in ITC, in different things. Because private sector, sometimes we expose more and we are a little bit more open in terms of getting fund, getting expert, getting supply. We have access, but we just need the support from our government, our ministry. But we do not before, but we do now have it. So it's just that we want to continue to have it, but more open. That's number one. Number two, asking the local people should be more respectful, more understanding that when you start a business, not just school, please let our people survive. Don't go after them. People go bankruptcy sometimes not because of the business not good, because of all this squeeze here and there, front and back, corner and sideways, or from different sectors, from different departments, from different government officials, from different,
Some say we can call it red tape or something.
Red tape. We will give them a relax and give them a chance to grow, survive. It's for the sake of our people, for the sake of the economy, for the sake of our government. I don't believe that our government are that greedy, and I don't believe that our government want that. But the people are doing it, and if you continue to do it, you cause so much hatred from the people, and people might misunderstand that it's the government actions doing that, but it's the crook and the greedy and the bad people that are still doing what are not supposed to be doing, and they are the one who kill the business. 10 years ago, they are the one that almost 99% of almost 99% of the reason why business are going bankruptcy. We cannot afford under the table. We cannot afford the red tape. We cannot afford the threat. We cannot afford. I'm not saying from the Ministry of Education. I'm talking about all officials that govern the lands of the law that is not from the government.
So my last question, what is your next 10 years plan? Where do you see MJQE in the next 10 years?
I'm hoping, and I cross my heart, my finger, that MJQE would be everywhere in all provinces and all on the lands where the land of Cambodia reach. So I want to be able to provide schools that would be affordable throughout Cambodia for my people. And I would hope that the people will continue to support and the people will continue to give strength and hope to our school. There's not perfect. We are not all perfect. There's always something here and there. But be part of us. Be part of the changing process. Help us see the problem. Help us change the problem. Help us move forward so that we can work together to making the school a better place for our children, to making school, educating our children better and stronger and more educated to become a better citizen. I hope with the help, with the support from the government, from the parent, from the community, from the law enforcement, please, especially the law enforcement, with your support, there's tremendous help. If there's a school, let us put the sign, school zone. If there's a school, let them put the bomb so that they do not drive so fast. If there's a school, let us raise the sign, stop sign. And if there's a school, let us do the school zone so that forewarn the people to be precautious so that they will not kill students. And if there's a school, there's student crossing area, give the rights to students, respect traffic law, and give the rights to our students. Let them cross. And if there's some noise, it's better than the noise from the bar, the noise from the kids singing, the kid playing, kid learning. It's the noise of peace, of joy. It's not a noise of fighting, cutting, drinking, using drug, and disco, wake up the whole night. Right now, that part of the latest discussion that I just mentioned, take over, have better priority, and get more support than the school zone itself. And also, for those communities that we want to support to build school, don't be an obstacle. Don't block it. I'm talking about, we have a foundation. We want to build school for the government, place that need schools. And we have people in certain districts, they are very welcoming. They want school. But we have some districts in some provinces, the official in the education ministry, they are damn stubborn. They will not let us build school. So we asked the same thing with other ministry, but that time the governor passed away already. I think for some reason he passed away already. But we got the permission to build the school. It cost us almost $500,000 from now on, from since then onward. And we built another school at Tu Beng called Good Mingli Tu Beng. Also become very successful. It cost us almost $200,000 already. And there's another 2 schools. They educate the children in the temple, but it was too old. They feel dangerous, so they move out and they take off everything already. And suddenly the people in the major education in Kampong Spui, they say no, they won't allow. So I said, I don't understand the reason behind it. So right now they have no school to study, element and junior high. That is sound unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. So, and no one want to put on air, no one dare to play it. Why? You let people like that to stay on power and then stop education progress when we doing free for the government. It costs us almost $500,000 for these 2 schools. And why would they do it? What do they want? The district, the district, the village, the people, everyone go to them, and he still said no. So I feel so sorry for the kid that right now have no school in Phnom Sruit.